Hey there, true crime fans. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're delving into Night Stalker, The Hunt for a Serial Killer, a bone-chilling Netflix documentary that takes us back to the terrifying summer of 1985 when a brutal predator stalked the streets of Los Angeles. If you're a fan of true crime stories that blend suspense, horror, and intense detective work, this is a documentary you don't want to miss. Night Stalker chronicles the terrifying crime spree of Richard Ramirez, a name that still sends shivers down the spines of those who remember the fear he instilled in Southern California. Ramirez wasn't just a killer. He was a sadistic, remorseless predator who committed a series of heinous crimes ranging from murder and sexual assault to child abduction, all with an unsettling randomness that left the public in a state of paralyzing fear. The documentary does a brilliant job of capturing this atmosphere of dread, taking viewers on a gripping journey through one of the most harrowing chapters in Los Angeles history. One of the strengths of Night Stalker is its storytelling approach. Rather than focusing on Ramirez from the outset, the documentary starts by immersing you in the perspective of the victims and the detectives hunting the killer. This narrative choice is powerful as it puts you right in the middle of the terror that gripped the city, making you feel the fear and the frustration as the body count rose and the killer remained elusive. By the time Ramirez's name is revealed, you're already deeply invested in the manhunt and desperate to see justice served. The documentary is structured into 4 episodes, each one meticulously building on the tension and urgency of the case. The pacing is perfect, keeping you on the edge of your seat as it moves from crime scenes to the investigation room and eventually to the courtroom. The filmmakers masterfully balance the horror of the crimes with the dedication and determination of the detectives who refused to give up, even when the case seemed hopeless. At the heart of Night Stalker are the 2 detectives who led the hunt for Ramirez, Gil Carrillo and Frank Salerno. Carrillo, a young and relatively inexperienced detective, and Salerno, a seasoned investigator who had worked on the Hillside Strangler case, make for an intriguing duo. Their partnership is one of the highlights of the documentary, and their personal stories add depth to the narrative. Carrillo's emotional recounting of the toll that the case took on his family, coupled with Salerno's steady, no-nonsense approach, creates a compelling dynamic that keeps you rooting for them as they close in on the killer. The documentary also shines in its visuals and atmosphere. Los Angeles in the mid-'80s comes to life through a mix of archival footage, photographs, and carefully crafted reenactments that give the series a gritty, almost noir-like feel. The filmmakers don't shy away from the showing of the brutal reality of Ramirez's crimes, but they do so in a way that's respectful to the victims while still conveying the horror of what happened. The dark, moody cinematography combined with a haunting score effectively captures the fear that pervaded the city during Ramirez's reign of terror. Another aspect that sets Night Stalker apart is its focus on the victims. The documentary doesn't just reduce them to names or numbers, it gives them a voice. Through interviews with survivors, family members, and those who were close to the case, the series humanizes the victims, reminding us that behind every headline was a person whose life was shattered by Ramirez's actions. These moments are some of the most poignant in the documentary, grounding the horror in real human terms. As the series progresses, it delves into the psychology of Ramirez, offering insights into what might have driven him to commit such heinous acts. However, the documentary wisely avoids sensationalizing or romanticizing his crimes. Instead, it paints a portrait of a deeply disturbed individual who found power in inflicting pain and fear. The focus remains on the impact of his actions rather than on elevating his notoriety. The final episode of Night Stalker brings the story to its gripping conclusion, detailing Ramirez's eventual capture and the relief that finally washed over Los Angeles when he was finally brought to justice. The scenes of his trial are particularly compelling, showing the mixture of outrage and fascination that he inspired in the public. But even as the documentary closes, it leaves you with a sense of lingering unease, a reminder of the darkness that can lurk behind even the most ordinary facades. In the end, Night Stalker, A Hunt for a Serial Killer, is a documentary that doesn't just recount a series of horrific events. It immerses you in the fear and the frustration and the determination that defined one of the most infamous manhunts in American history. It's a chilling, unsettling, and ultimately rewarding watch that will stick with you long after the credits roll. If you're ready for a true crime documentary that will have you double checking your locks and peering into the shadows, then Night Stalker is a must see. And if you found this review helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more in-depth true crime content. Until next time, stay safe, stay curious, and remember, the hunt for justice is never easy, but it's always worth it.